We're on Excel charts now. This is a lesson that is actually not in the book at all. It's one that I made up because I thought it was really important for you to have this information about how to create your own spreadsheet and chart. We'll do a little practice and then we'll uh, have some practice exercises for you to do. The first demonstration is in the file about Carrie's Espresso Coffee. If you look down here at the bottom, there are 2 demo page tabs, and then there are 4 assignment pages, and these all have similar assignments. So you're going to be repeating several times. I'm going to crank up my zoom just a little bit so it's easier for you to see, and then I'll have to scroll back and forth. This is a spreadsheet that was from one of the older books, and I just gave you all of the numbers already typed in, and we're going to do the formatting. Let me pull up the PowerPoint that would show that then. Formatting, we're going to modify the formatting. Well, there isn't any. We're going to make some in this particular case. Here on Carrie's Espresso Coffee, you'll notice that all of the typing is in cell A1. You'll notice that because up on the formula bar, up here, it says Carrie's Espresso Coffee, even though it looks like it's in A1 and B1. If you were to click on cell B1, actually, there's nothing in there. It's just overlapping. What we want to do for our assignment, though, is to do what's called merge and center. Merge and center takes these A1, B1, C1 individual cells and creates one big cell out of them. The way you do that is to put your mouse in the middle, in the center of the cell. Don't go to an edge. You'll get the wrong symbol. In the middle, in the center, and click and drag all the way across from A through G, however big your spreadsheet is. So they're all selected. If you end up with Carrie's Espresso Coffee in each one of the cells, that means you didn't use the hollow cross in the middle, in the center. You used the move, which was one of the borders. I'll show you that here when we're done. So you should have one line, and then up here at the top on the Home tab is this Merge and Center button. There are actually several choices, but we'll just click on it and that will merge and center for us. You can do the same thing to unmerge it if you make a mistake. Old versions like 2003, I think, didn't have it, but I think 2007 and 10 do. Merge and center, and we now have one big cell that has Carrie's Espresso Coffee in it. We'll do the same thing with the next cell. Let me click in A2, and you notice that I'm in the middle, in the center, and I have that hollow cross. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in on it to show you a larger picture of the cross, but if I go to a border, notice that now it's not a hollow cross anymore. Now it's the 4-headed arrow. And if I go to the bottom right-hand corner, that's to move, 4-headed arrows to move. And if I go to the bottom right-hand corner, I have a crosshairs, like a gun sight, and that's going to be to fill. So there are those 3 different mouse icons, and it's very, very important not to get them mixed up. I'll click and drag across A2 through G2 and click Merge and Center again, and those will be done. It would be really nice if you could do rows 1 and 2 at the same time, but it doesn't work. You have to do one row at a time. Otherwise, you get one huge cell that goes from A1 to G2. So we did, for row 1, we did merge and centered, and I did row 2, merge and centered. But now we'll go back to row 1, and we'll do title style. We used styles in Word. We'll use styles in Excel. Do you have to? No. You can do it by hand. Not a problem. And under cell styles on the right-hand side, yours might be opened, but because of my resolution, mine's pretty much closed up. Just a button there. cell styles. There are categories here, and in the headings and titles and headings category, we're going to choose the title style. Some title style. I don't really like that too much because it's not bold, so I think I'm going to bold mine. That looks better, don't you think? Well, anyway. And then I said for row 2, you could either do title style and then decrease the font size, or you could make something by hand. Doesn't matter. I think I'll just click in that cell and I'll make mine by hand. I guess I'll leave that Constantia font, but I'll crank up the font size a little bit. You don't want it bigger than row 1. I think I would make mine bold also, and maybe I'll change the font color to, something in the theme fonts here. I don't know. Something like that. That looks pretty bad, but we'll do it. So what I have isn't very nice, but it's something you have to prove to me that you can choose a style and do some formatting. So figure out something. And then down here, the next instruction says for row 3 to use heading 3 format. And even though A3 is empty, which is frequently empty, not always, but frequently, and I'm going to click and drag all across all of these cells, I'm not merging them. What I'm going to do is just go up and choose from cell styles, the heading level 3 style. And the reason I had to do cell A3 also is so I would get that blue line under it, even though there's no writing in it.
But you're still doing it with the hollow cross.
I'm still doing the hollow cross, in the middle, in the center. That's how you select. Click and drag in Word, click and drag with the mouse with the I-beam cursor, but in Excel it's a hollow cross. And then down here, the next instruction says, the formatting instruction, says to row 9, we want totals style. I guess that's row 8 on mine, isn't it? Oops, I'll have to fix that. Let me make a note. In cell A14, row 9, should be, my pen's not writing. Wait, let me pause. Alrighty. My totals row is in row 8, so I'll fix that and re-upload it. The totals row, I'll do the same thing. Click and drag across it, in the middle, in the center with the hollow cross. And we'll go up to cell styles, and we will choose totals style. Well, that's what I just said. I don't have a row 9, so I have to change the instructions. But I'm not going to change it on this document because this is all corrected. Just a note about when you would have typed in these numbers. When you type numbers, do not type the comma, do not type the $sign, but do type the period for the cents. Although if there's no cents, it doesn't matter. And you remember when we were doing some of the other assignments, it even rounded them for us, but that's okay, we'll fix it later. Next instruction says in B4 to F4 and B8, not 9, but 8, B8 to F8, we're going to use currency format, which means we'll have $signs. So we're going to do that, click, shift click, I'm going to add that to the instructions because I'm sure you'll forget it and you want to come back here and remind yourself. So let's select B4 through F4, G4, G4, B4 to G4. I must have changed this after I typed instructions or something. B4 to G4. Okay? And then let your finger up off your mouse. Now, with your left handy dandy left index finger, press down and hold the control key. And now click and drag B8, it's not 9, it's 8, B over to G8. Let both fingers up. Notice I said to you last week that the last row or column that you select, the first cell of the last row that you select will be white, which this one is. You see here? It will look like it's wrong, but that's the way they did it. So now you're watching the video, so if you want to come back and see that again, rewind the video, but I'll pause it and do it again for the classroom folks. And then what they wanted us to do down here, oh, now I unselected it, okay, is to format with a currency format. So let me drag again. Select B4, press down and hold the control key, select the others. And then now we want the currency format. If you go up on the home tab here in general, let me show you first, if I click the $sign, that's actually accounting number format. Let me just do that. Accounting number format. And do you see that it has $signs in every cell, and the $signs are fixed? That means they're all at the left margin. There's nothing wrong with that. Just doesn't happen to be what we ask for. So instead of the accounting number format, we're going to go up to the box and go down and choose currency format instead, just because they told us to. And now what we have is $signs that are floating. That means it's the first space to the left of the number. I suppose if you're an accounting person it matters, but I'm not, and I really don't give a rip, except we're trying to learn both. Now, so we want if we put those $signs on every single number, it would be so busy. So what we do is we do the first row and we do the last row like that. So we see $signs. And then if you go down and look at the next instruction, what we'll do is the other rows in between, B to, and that shouldn't be to B to G, not E. Yeah, we're going to format as comma format. So let me go back and select those like that. And then we have this, you see it, comma? Do you see the comma there? It's called comma style. And what that is looks like money, but no $signs. So put the commas in there for us, and it lined it all up nicely, but no $signs. Oh, I have to take the totals row. What? How did that happen? Remove totals. Did I? Okay, well, let me stop that then. We'll stop this video and we'll pick up with another one.